Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today guys, I have got a game from LiquidSheth. It is, well obviously LiquidSheth in the lower left is the red Zerg player, who's up against thecoolman, the blue Zerg player in the top right, who quite rightly is good luck, have fun sir, because Sheth, he should definitely be knighted. But anyway, the map Daybreak, it is going to be a ZvZ, and well guys, I'm really excited about it being a ZvZ, because I love watching this matchup. It is just so exciting, it is so tense, and yeah, it is pretty brilliant. Now, Sheth is so good-mannered in games. It's absolutely insane. For those of you, I can't remember which game it was I saw, but there was someone absolutely trolling the life out of Sheth, and he was just like, "Don't worry, man, you're gonna be fine. Like, you might have cannon rushed me, but everything's gonna be just a-okay. Don't worry in the future." But anyway, that's fine. But yeah. Coming back to the game, obviously the map's on Daybreak, so what are we expecting to see? Well, being a ZvZ, you can do anything really from an early pull, as we're seeing from Sheth at the moment. It was actually a 10 pull he chucked down there, so a pull before his second Overlord, compared to thecoolman, who he's got his Overlord up, he's happily droning, so he could be going anything all the way up to about a 15 hatches viable, so obviously, lots of different options early game in ZvZ, which is actually quite good because quite a lot of mirror matches, actually quite a few matchups in general, have a very defined early game of the best build. Whereas in ZvZ, there's just so much else you can do, and you can see here, Sheth going for the double extractor trick, so really pumping out as many drones as he can early on, getting that spawning pool up very, very early. That helps him against early aggression, and that's something which, if you're playing someone who, well, name you don't recognize early on, it's probably quite a good idea going for a slightly safer build. Sheth getting out those 6 Zerglings, so a bit of aggression coming in. The hatchery first out of thecoolman, which could come back to really cause him some problems, especially with those 6 Zerglings on their way over. They're going to be able to do a lot of harassment, especially when there's no Zerglings or not even a spawning pool chucked down yet. That's actually a 16 pool on its way out for thecoolman, so that is a really, really late, probably the latest you can safely go. The Zerglings are going to get scouted though by the Overlord, so things not looking too bad at the moment. Sheth going for another extractor trick. He clearly does not like making Overlords. He's not a fan of them, and who can blame him, because Overlords, they just float around slightly quicker than they were obviously a couple of patches ago, because, well, they went to the gym a little bit. They're like, yeah, we need to pick up our pace a bit, we're getting a bit lazy. But as you can see, we've got these Zerglings, they're coming over, and as of yet, the spawning pool still only 2/3 done, so we may actually see a cancel force on his hatchery. Alternative, Sheth may just go straight for the main base and go for that mineral line. Of course, in the mineral line, you can drone walk, so obviously just click on the mineral patches to try and clump everything up together, as we're seeing thecoolman execute excellently here. And of course, the advantage of this is it means they all clump up, and when they declump, they automatically push past all of the Zerglings and therefore get a complete surround. The downside to doing this, of course, is the lost mining time. If we look at the income of these two players while this is all going on, you can see Sheth has got a mountainous amount of income compared to his opponent, so he's delaying an awful lot. Thecoolman trying to get out 4 Zerglings ASAP, bringing over all of the drones now, just trying to outmatch Sheth in terms of the Zergling count, but of course, he is still sitting there on 4, and he's now forced 8 already. So Sheth, if we look at the worker count here, he is still behind by 3 workers, but he's going to town on this natural base. And of course, these Zerglings, they've got to be careful. A lot more being forced. Another 8 Zerglings in production here for thecoolman, and Sheth just with great control here. Sheth, he's got a good number of Zerglings out already. He's up at 10, so this is going to be quite difficult for thecoolman to deal with. He's going to have a good angle, but of course the Queen is on its way out. This natural base getting very low on health at the moment, as Sheth does have a good angle there, but of course a better angle there for thecoolman, and of course the Queen helping absolutely hugely in order to deal with that. So while Sheth didn't actually do very much damage at all at this stage of the game, he did manage to delay an awful lot of mining time, which is something that a lot of players don't actually take into consideration. So Sheth, he's in a good position. He's got his natural base up. He's pulling ahead in the worker count now already, but he's got to deal with this counter attack. So we may see Sheth with a need to get out a couple more units. He's got the Queen coming down, but in terms of the numbers, well, he's definitely going to need to get some more Zerglings out fairly quickly. He's got 4 on the way. He does have 4 out. The Queen is there ready to try and help with the second Queen coming down. Of course, 2 Queens will be able to hold this off quite nicely. So I love the fact that both these players using Queens so effectively in the early game. The important thing though is they don't get them picked off, because if you do start losing Queens early on, well, that really affects your income and production capability. And as we're seeing here, the Queen is taking quite a bit of damage already, down to 70, 60, 50 health, getting very, very low as we speak. And well, this could run into some problems. The Queen does just survive. No, it doesn't get picked off by thecoolman with 1 Zergling. And of course that is not good for Sheth right now, because obviously, well, he's down to 1 Queen. Both, actually, thecoolman only had 1 Queen out as well, so that's a bit of a mistake. You want to get both Queens up fairly quickly with the hatchery so you can inject more, get more units out, more lava. Obviously, that's always the plus side. Looking here, metabolic grease on the way out for thecoolman. Sheth is actually, well, he did have that gas down fairly early, so he is just getting gas. He's just got 3, well, he did have 2 in there, he's got 3 in there now. So looking across the map, what else have we got? We've got the Coolman getting up his Baneling nest, and of course this is phase 2 of ZvZ, where you start off, you get lots of Zerglings, lots of Banelings, and well, really phase 1 is just who has the most Zerglings. Phase 2 is the Banelings. If they get good connections, they can be very, very potent and cost effective. If they're not good cost effective engagements, then well, it can still be pretty tough, but it all comes down to the micro of the Banelings and Zerglings. Phase 3 is when you get Roaches out and then Banelings are no longer effective, and well, on from that, you can have Roach Infester, Roach Hydra, Roach Infester Hydra, 2 base Mutas, which neither of these players are going for, just because they haven't got very many gas down. Chef getting up his 2nd gas at the moment at the natural, and of course, if that denies the scouting to the main, well, that means the Coolman is left thinking, is this 2 gas or 4 or 3 gas? And that is something that is always very, very good. A lot of Zerglings on their way over, and of course, Chef he does have his Baneling nest down. That single Spine Caller is probably going to be forced to cancel fairly soon. The drone's getting pulled back. Spine Caller may be allowed to finish, which would be surprising. Of course, the Banelings are morphing. They are fairly near done. And of course, once they're out, these Zerglings are going to have a lot more of a hard time. But they both detonate on pretty much nothing. And Chef is in an absolutely nightmare of a position right now because, well, those Zerglings are doing good damage to the drones. Already 2 workers have been killed. And this natural base is taking an awful lot of damage. Got 4 more Banelings morphing in somewhere for the Coolman. And of course, those Banelings, 2 Banelings will take out the drones. And of course, with only Zerglings on the field, Chef could be in problems. And we see here, those Banelings coming up. They do some good hits. The drones are splitting as quickly as they can, but of course we see here the Coolman with some good engagements. He's picking up more and more workers. 8 already killed. That puts him into a nice lead in terms of the worker count, and well, he's pulling back from this aggression. He didn't manage to pick off the natural base, but well, killing 8 workers, that does manage to put him, well, 9 workers ahead, which is really pretty substantial at this stage of the game. He's also getting his lair up. He's getting his spine crawled up. The only thing missing really from this is, well, he's getting all 4 gas. Roach Warren is something that I'd be looking to transition to after that, just to be ready for the counter-attack. Chef getting an awful lot of workers out ASAP, so he has caught up in the worker count slightly there, but the Coolman, he's getting out some more Zerglings. He's got a lot already, so I'm surprised he's getting those, perhaps expecting counterattack, but as you can see, his overlord placement at the moment is absolutely fine, so I'm really quite surprised that he isn't going over there at the moment, and is finding the need to build so many Zerglings, perhaps going for some more aggression, but of course Chef does have the Banelings out, and he kind of knows what to expect, but Chef's overlord placement really leaves a lot to be desired. He doesn't have any map vision at all for the time being, so he has no idea this aggression is on its way, so hopefully we'll see here the Coolman. Well, he could do an awful lot of damage. You just need to be careful of those Banelings, and there is only the 2 as far as I can see. So that is a pretty good spot already for Chef, who is getting his own lair up, but of course the lair finished already for the Coolman. Also the 3rd base on its way. Checking down here for Chef's own 3rd. We've got 8 Banelings morphing for the Coolman right now, and that is quite a good amount. And we also have the Spire coming down. Where is that? There we go. So the Spire on its way already, and well, that's going to cause some problems. And of course the Banelings do get spotted by this drone, and 2 Banelings detonate on 1 drone. That is unfortunate for the Coolman right now, but as you can see, this aggression coming up. We've got the Banelings. They get 1 good hit off. Are they going to get another one? Well, it's going to be pretty close. Of course, it takes 2 Banelings to kill a Baneling, so they do need to be fairly careful. And well, here comes the rest of the Banelings. Here comes the rest of the Zerglings. We've got a big engagement at the moment. A surround on the Queen from the Coolman, and well, the Banelings, they are still up. 1 Baneling on its way over, and of course that is always something to worry about. We've got a good detonation there. A Baneling for a Baneling, that's fine. And well, the drones, they are taking huge damage at the moment from these Zerglings. And Chef, he's taking big losses at the moment. And of course, if he's not careful, he's going to get behind in the worker count again. But he does manage to clean that up quite nicely. But of course, behind all of this, of course, we've got equal drone count, but the 3rd hatchery on its way out for the Coolman already, who is getting up his infestation pit. The Spire cancelled, so clearly not happy with his timing of getting that Spire, and I'm surprised that he went for it and cancelled it anyway, perhaps choosing a different tech path, but that's something you want to avoid, to be honest, because obviously that delays it quite significantly. Maybe saw the infestation pit, I'm not sure if he did manage to see that. No, he didn't, so I'm surprised he switched that out, but fair enough. Looking here, obviously, we do have the Coolman getting out quite a few Roaches now, so going into Roach Infestor, but Chef coming for a big counterattack, and there's an awful lot of Banelings on their way. This 3rd base is going to have to be defended very, very nicely, and of course the Banelings are the big threat, and there's quite a few there, so these Zerglings are going to have to be very, very careful for the Coolman. And already we see here Chef pulling back. He's going to just dart back and forth. He doesn't want a bag engagement, but of course if he waits too long, these Roaches are going to get out, and that's going to become a lot easier to deal with. And of course, if the Roaches are on a separate hotkey, which they are, basically Coolman can use those Roaches to pick off the Banelings ASAP. He's using his own Banelings, moving them forward at the moment, trying to get some good engagements. You can see some Banelings engaging either place, and well, this is actually getting pretty damn close. If we look at the loss tab, there's only a handful of resources between these two. The roaches are engaging very, very well at the time being, and well, we've got the coolman coming over, and Sheth, loads of zerglings get hit, absolutely massive baning attacks going right there, and well, we've got the roaches there pushing forward. It's counterattack coming in. That would have put Sheth quite a way behind in terms of the resources lost, nearly 1,000 resources different already. That is pretty huge at the time being. In terms of the worker count, well, Sheth is ahead. Well, he was for a moment, but he's now 5 behind. Of course, his third base is about to kick in for Sheth, which is going to be absolutely essential. He's building up some spine crawlers for the time being. Sheth is getting out 7 infestors, though, and we don't have any infestors on the field yet for Coolman. And, of course, infestors, such a strong unit. For those of you who follow balance adjustments and stuff, there is, of course, out in the arcade, the Antigua Shipyard balance tester map, whereby, of course, Ravens no longer required to research Seeker Missile, and Infestors no longer can fungal growth psionic units. So, minor changes. It will be interesting to see how they go, but in this map, for the moment, we've, of course, got these roaches. They are pushing forward incredibly well, and this third base for Sheth looked like it could get taken down, but, of course, Infestors are on the way, and a fungal growth gets all of the banelings. That is going to be really, really annoying, and, of course, Shane funging those banelings absolutely knocks him out fantastically, but Coolman has managed to, for the moment, pick off the third base, which means he is a base up, he's in a good spot, but he's lost an awful lot of his units, and that has actually, well, surprisingly, Sheth's still behind in terms of resources lost, but it's, again, a pretty irritating position for Sheth to be in, because without that third base, he's kind of going to have to put on a lot of aggression fairly soon. But in terms of the Coolman, well, he's getting out the Infestors, his upgrades are looking good, he's got +1 missile attack already done. Sheth, in terms of the upgrades, does just have +1 missile attack only starting at the moment, so that is a bit of a pain for him. The upgrade advantage going to the Coolman. The Infestors are burrowed though, so of course burrowed Infestors can be very, very potent, especially if you chuck out an awful lot of infested terrans. They look like they're going towards the natural. Meanwhile, the Coolman has got a Zergling run by to deal with at his third base, but gets a fungal growth on literally all of those Zerglings. They are so badly injured right now, but where are these infested Terrans going? The Zerglings at the third have been cleaned up pretty nicely. Is Sheth going to do anything with these? Are they even watching? Well, we've got one there already. Are they going to get split out? We should see some infested Terrans locked down absolutely everywhere shortly, but for the moment, the Coolman, he is going across the map, and well, we've got a fair number of roaches, and Sheth actually, he has only 1 roach on the field for the time being, and I heard, did I hear those infested Terrans? No. No, I'm really, it's in the back of my head now. Where are they? Where are they going to be? The Coolman getting up his 4th base already. As you can see, Sheth 3/4 way through rebuilding his own 3rd, and that's going to really start hurting his income, because while his drone count is a lot lower, it's 11 workers less already, he's of course got less workers mining from different mineral fields. If we look at the income, well, the Coolman really quite a long way ahead in both gas and minerals, and that's going to really, really help him going into the mid game. He's able to get up a lot more infestors, and Sheth, with these infestors, I'm surprised he's not using them at the moment. Maybe he's waiting for the rest of the Zerg army to move across the map. Maybe he's waiting for a nice little counter-attack opportunity, but if he waits too long, he could run into problems, because of course the Overseer is morphing in. I'm not quite sure where that Overseer is morphing for the time being. It's down here, so I don't know if it will spot anything. Maybe if it moves forward, but well, we'll wait and see where it chooses to go. But at the moment, it's just chilling there, and well, it's not going the right way. So this is all looking okay at the moment. We've got another little bit of Zergling prodding and poking around here, but of course the 4th base nearly up. Sheth's 3rd only just finished. He has got the 5th and 6th gas up there. Of course, these infestors still doing absolutely nothing at the moment. The Coolman with an awful lot of infestors on the field, actually. He's up there at, well, 11 to the 13 of Sheth, but in a head-on engagement, the 3 behind means that the Coolman will have 1 more infestor in play in the main army. In terms of the roach count, it's 30 to 20, which obviously favours the Coolman, and, well, other than that, there's really not much on the field. And, well, here we go, we've got a lot of aggression. The Coolman with a good 45 supply lead, and that's pretty huge. But, of course, if these infestors are watching, they should be able to get a good fungal growth, but we see here already a nice little switch. Some infested Terrans going down, but some great fungals from Sheth right there. He managed to get literally maximum numbers of roaches ASAP, and this is a big engagement. It's difficult to say which way it's going, but looking at the supply count, the Coolman, he is definitely up an advancement. Neither player's got anything in the production tab, and yeah, for the time being, those infested Terrans doing absolutely massive damage to everything. Sheth really in a lot of problems at the moment, and well, he's trying to pull back. Those infestors are managing to get a couple of fungal growths off. Of course, these infestors up at the main base now, lobbing down an awful lot of infested Terrans. This is going to be the problem. The other infestors lobbing down at the natural, so this is a great counter attack by Sheth at the time being. May buy himself some time. He's having to pull back. Coolman having to pull back a lot of those drones, but he's already lost an awful lot there. Sheth managing to kill 32 workers already. That is really going to hurt it, and as you can see, that makes a big difference. But meanwhile, the 3rd base of Sheth has got a lot of roaches there. Those roaches are 2-0 against the 1-0 roaches of Coolman and of Sheth, brother. And of course, that upgrade advantage is really, really helping for the time being. There's not many infestors around there, but of course, the main base of Coolman has been taken out. The lair nearly killed, but of course, he does have his 4th base there, ready and waiting, and that is going to help him massively now. He's just checking around for other bases, but, well, for the time being, this is pretty close. Sheth, of course, now has taken a 22 worker lead, and that is absolutely huge, but it doesn't matter that much because, well, he's down to just 2 mining bases. No, 1 now, because his main is mined out. That, of course, means that it's 1 mining base compared to 3 potential mining bases, although the Coolman hasn't started building any more roaches yet, which is something that he really needs to do if he wants to be able to pull this more forward. He did lose his roach one, though, when he basically was knocked out. His main was knocked out, and he needs to be careful because, of course, that spawning pool doesn't have any creep on it. If that gets taken out, that would be incredibly frustrating. These infestors for Sheth have been spotted, though, and they're getting picked off by the spine crawlers. That is incredibly irritating for him. But as you can see, the Coolman, he is just putting on so much aggression. He's just got such a nice supply lead at the moment, and it's just really impressive play. He's denying this 3rd base absolutely fantastically, and that's really what late game StarCraft is about. If you pick out those bases, if you prevent your opponent expanding and expand yourself, well, you're always going to take the economic lead, even if those big counterattacks come. And as you can see here, Sheth, he's down to 47 workers to 38, which isn't a huge advantage at this stage of the game. And of course, they're all down here, so it's a massive, massive oversaturation. The income's probably actually better. We've got some big engagements coming down here, though. Roaches, they are doing some big damage already. Obviously, the upgrade advantage has gone. They both are on +2 missile attack, and the better arc there for Sheth, actually, so he should come out better from this engagement. But meanwhile, we've got a massive infested Terrans up in the natural. All of those infestors just lobbing out so many infested Terrans. This is a big, big engagement here at the time being. A couple more infested Terrans getting lobbed down here. They will help to soak up some of the damage. The Coolman should retreat up into these infested Terrans, though, so the roaches don't die too soon. Obviously, the rest of these infested Terrans moving forward as best they can, but they don't last forever, unfortunately. And, well, the burrowed infestors from Sheth going to come in from behind. And, of course, Sheth really on the ropes now. He's down to 80 supply, under 100 to the 100, and, well, give or take about 140 of the Coolman. Those roaches still moving forward. Sheth trying to build as quickly as he can, but he is in absolutely massive problems. There's infestors moving forward. Could try to do some counter-attacking, but I don't know what good it will do because Sheth are having to pull all of his drones, and I think we could see the GG any moment because, well, Sheth, he's falling his drone count. The fact he's only got the 1 mining base, and, well, I really don't see how Sheth can come back from this. And there is the GG with the exclamation mark, and Sheth gets taken out by the Coolman, which, if you'd asked me at the start of this match, I would not have predicted that. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy, please subscribe, like the video, and leave a cool comment. I get new games up daily, so I will see you tomorrow for yet another new cast. Thanks for watching, and bye.